Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. And today on the channel, I'm going to be talking about a brand new horror film that has just premiered on the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival called Megalomaniac. But is the film any good and is it scary? Find out next in my review. Megalomaniac questions the invisible line between victim and executioner and how it is crossed. A film about the weight of patriarchy and the illusion of Manichaeism. The film stars Aline Schumacher, Wim Willard, Benjamin Ramon, Pierre Nis, Raphael Lubensu, Oliver Picard, and many others, and was directed by Kareem Ulshah. Megalomaniac, I knew nothing about this film, so going into this film, I only saw a poster. I never read an actual synopsis of this film. It's actually in French with English subtitles, and it's a really hard subject, and I have to say that I really didn't enjoy this movie. I found this movie to be kind of uncomfortable. So the film actually talks about this killer and how he dumped all these different bodies, which I didn't have a problem with. You know, I'm used to violence and actually different people actually getting killed on screen, so that doesn't really bother me. But what I found really disturbing about this film is how it depicts women. It's very vulgar towards women. There is this woman named Martha. She works at a factory and she's getting bullied by all these different guys. And of course, she ends up having non-consensual sex with these actual guys. And it's a really tough scene to watch. And there are other actual scenes throughout this film where they're really being really vulgar towards women, how they're talking to women. And I felt that this film, it really just focused on how men can be very vulgar to women. I found that this film was very uncomfortable to watch. I really didn't think that anything was really solved in this. And I also cannot really ever unshield my eyes of actually seeing an actual incest scene on screen. That was not fun to watch at all. I'm never going to forget that on screen. So that's what I mean by a lot of actual uncomfortable imagery in this film. It really isn't something that I really enjoyed watching, and it's really hard to really even say to really recommend this film if you're really into really vulgar stuff and really depiction of actually hatred on women and just how they actually talk to women in this, because women are actually getting captured and they're getting tortured at this guy's house, and it just really isn't fun to watch. I don't really get anything out of actually people getting tortured. That's why I've never really cared much for the Saw movies. It's an absolute snail race to the finish, and the whole lighting of the film is really gross. I didn't like how any of the lighting is in this film. I wouldn't recommend actually watching this film if you're trying to learn about lighting. I think the camera work is kind of questionable at times. The acting is all right for what the characters are given, but I think they just try to throw everything at the wall here, including enslavement, non-consensual sex, incest, actual people getting killed in actual executioner style, and just depicting women in a really vulgar way. And I just really can't get behind that. And I just didn't really care for also the art house part of the film. It just really didn't connect with me, and it just felt really left field at times. And it just doesn't really ever come together for me as an actual film. And I also found that the score in this film, it was really repetitive. It seemed like every time something really dark would happen, we get the same score over and over and over. At first it was all right, but then we keep getting it. I'm like, I'm over this score. Just cut it out with this music at this point. It's the same thing over and over again. And I just really never found myself enjoying this film. And that's why I'm going to give a score of this film a 1 out of 5. Just not a film that I can recommend. If you really like torture and vulgar type of movies and actually women getting depicted really badly by men, then this is the film for you. But this was not for me, and I can't recommend it. But thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll see you guys on my next review.